You're watching ESPN Outdoors in high definition on ESPN2 HD, presented by Viagra.
Today on ESPN Outdoors Saltwater Series, we visit one of the most desired saltwater fishing destinations in the world, where the breathtaking beauty and unique local charm is as impressive as the lavish fishing opportunities. Join us for the trip of a lifetime as we take you to the remote islands of the Abacos. Experience local delicacies.
All right. There's two fish in there, but I'm gonna try to get you up close though. He to the left of your line. There's a bunch of them right here.
Went to the left?
Yeah, it's a bunch of fish right there to the left here.
We didn't do so hot in the morning. It was a little slow getting started. Geez, and it was nearly noon. Caught our first fish. And that was a relief. And I have to admit, I was glad it was me that caught the first one.
All right, all right.
Come on. All right.
The girls are back in town. Here we go.
Oh, I needed that. Woo!
Hey, we needed a bonefish.
All right, let's see if I can get you. Let's see if I can get you to touch this leader.
I got you.
He's not that big. What is he, about 23?
Nice fish.
You're gonna get 24 and a half out of him. 24 and a half.
Pretty fish.
The great thing about that is he called that fish way before we got there. He says, see that little creek up there? See that opening? There's gonna be fish stacked up in front of that opening. Yep. We get up there, bingo, there was a bunch of them right there. Never met a bonefish I didn't like. Go get him, Tiger.
Coming up, we explore the Bahamian art of conch diving. Plus, day 2 of competition begins.
You need to get that barracuda out of the midst of them, and then they'll settle down a little bit more.
The day proves challenging as one team has a little unexpected competition.
Oh, there he goes.
Barracuda ate him right there.
He ate him.
Baseball is back. It's opening night. The captain leads the world champs into Beantown to battle the Red Sox. Yankees-Red Sox, April 4th at 8 on ESPN2. Everybody watches on Sunday night.
Recently, a whole new kind of cloud came to St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Ask me what a cloud feels like.
And here are the first real people to sleep on those brand new clouds.
Ask me what it feels like to be comforted by a cloud.
A new Temper Cloud Supreme by Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me why we love our cloud.
Ask me how it's soft as a cloud.
And it still supports me.
Ask me why this is a million times better than my pillow top.
A pillow top may look nice and puffy, but underneath are hard metal springs.
Ask me why it's bye-bye pillow top.
Bye-bye.
The new Temper Cloud is the plushest, softest Tempur-Pedic ever. And it comes with a 20-year warranty.
Ask me where I'd like to be right now.
Ask me how many people I'm going to recommend this to.
Tempur-Pedic brand owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how to take the first step to your own cloud.
Call for your free information kit with DVD, 1-800-290-8675, or visit TempurPedic.com/cloud.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
To catch all the Saltwater Series coverage, just log on to ESPNOutdoors.com. Check out photos, watch in-depth interviews, and exclusive catches not seen on today's show. The full Saltwater Series experience is just a click away on ESPNOutdoors.com. Welcome back from beautiful Abacos Islands in the Bahamas. Seafood is the staple of the Bahamian diet. One of the most enjoyed delicacies is the conch. Jose Wehebe joined local ferryboat captain Pedro Maycock on a typical conch diving excursion.
First of all, I want to know what kind of Bahamian name is Pedro? Pedro is actually the ferryboat captain who takes residents and tourists from the mainland of the Abacos over to Hopetown. And I had met Pedro with him. And I love that because I think anytime you get a chance to spend some time with a local, somebody who was actually born and raised on that island, you get a chance to glimpse back into that island's culture and history from somebody who's been there, somebody who's lived it, first person's point of view. The black Bahamians came basically from the slaves.
From the slavery.
From the slavery, and then they were left here, I think, when they abolished slavery.
That's correct.
And then they had really basically to fend for themselves, so, you know, fish like the bonefish.
Fishing, it was their industry. That was their main source of food. Fishing and farming.
And farming.
Yeah.
And what's the ancestry of the white Bahamians on this island? Were they the loyalists?
The loyalists, yes.
That came from the Carolinas?
Came from the Carolinas, you're right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm always very curious about the culture and the history of an area. And you come here and there's like the bonefish is on the coin, and the conch is, you see it everywhere. And so, obviously that was a very important part of the culture here, of the people here. Yes. The conch is an important part of the culture of the Abacos. It's a lot more than just a delicacy. Really, in the past, it was a way of life here. Because the conch is found in that easy to get to shallow water, it's a perfect setup to go diving for them. You basically can throw on a set of fins, mask and snorkel, and paddle around until you find some grassy flats, which is the areas that the conch like, and find the shells, and then you can dive down and take a look at the lip of the shell and see if you can actually legally harvest them or not. The conch have had so much pressure on them from both commercial and recreational fishermen that there's actually been some restrictions put on them. If you have a conch shell that has no lip, you can't legally take that. If you do find a conch that has actual lip protruding past the opening, then you actually can physically harvest them.
I like that last one was like flipping its little claw out all over the place. Yeah, he wanted to get out.
It's morning, day 2 of the Baker's Bay Marsh Harbor Bonefish Classic. As the sun slowly rises along the breathtaking Bahamian sky, our leaders from day 1 head out in search of the elusive bonefish. Led by Captain Paul Pinder, anglers Erik Hage and Eric O'Neill search the shallow waters of Sandy Point looking for schools of fish. So far this morning, they have yet to find any signs of bonefish, but their luck is about to change.
It's about time. Oh, there he goes. Not yet. He's actually line slack. His fish is probably still coming to you. He's running toward you. See the barracuda's coming as well. Oh. I thought the barracuda ate him right there. He ate him. I thought I had him. I thought I was going to get him to the boat, and sure enough, right before I got him to the boat, the barracuda took him. So I guess that's the breaks, but feel bad for the bonefish. I wish I could have released them, but it was a neat experience. That's something that happens at times when we're fishing. Either we're going to possibly lose some time to a barracuda or even a shark in some cases, but it is something that happens. It's fight of the fittest. That's just a day of fishing. That doesn't count? I wish we could have. If he had brought him to the boat and the barracuda ate him after we released him, we could have counted it.
When we come back, the hunt continues as the day 1 leaders find another school of bonefish. But will they be able to finally land one? Or will the barracuda beat them to the punch?
He's running with the school. Here they come, right by us. The barracuda are still swimming with them.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org.
Take the water by storm with Humminbird sonar technology. Choose between 2 high-performance display modes and decide how you read the water with Switchfire sonar. See picture-like images to either side of the boat with side imaging. Or choose all-new down imaging for crystal-clear views directly below you. Fish smarter with Switchfire, side imaging, and down imaging. Only from Humminbird. Simply, clearly, better.
National Debt Report. If you have any type of debt, call now for a free debt report. There are laws in place which may allow us to lower your debt up to 70%.
I was in debt up to here. I made one easy phone call and they cut my monthly payments in half.
Take back control of your life. Become completely debt-free in months. Credit card bills, medical bills, repos, any type of unsecured debt. This opportunity will not last. Call now.
Call 1-800-230-3768.
I may be in my pajamas right now, but I'm not going to bed.
I'm going to college online to get a degree. Education Connection will connect you to the right online college for free. And log on now, and Education Connection will send you their free success kit stuffed with information on online schools, scholarships, even degrees that take the least amount of time. This is a $100 value, and it's yours free.
Log on to myschoolnow.com. That's myschoolnow.com.
Women's Basketball Championship. Sweet 16 action continues today at noon with Iowa State, Connecticut. 7:30, it's Oklahoma versus Notre Dame.
The Eyes Out IndyCar Series at St. Petersburg, today at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
The Built Ford Tough ESPN Outdoors Saltwater Series, presented by TakeMeFishing.org, is brought to you by TakeMeFishing.org. Ford, Power Pole JM Marine, and by Florida Keys Outfitters. Inside the Box, tips, tactics, and insights, presented by Plano.
It seems like a big school of bonefish would be a really easy target for a fly fisherman to hit, but they can be surprisingly hard to fish, and the reason for that is because that whole school acts as one entity. And all those outside fish are known as the vanguard fish, right? So the vanguards are always looking out on the periphery of the school for barracudas, sharks, or food. So if something scares one of the vanguard fish, he turns this way and the rest of the school turns that way and goes away. So you really have to be careful not to spook any one of those fish in that kind of situations. The way that a lot of fly fishermen can accomplish this is by two very simple things. A really long leader on your fly line, and then most importantly is a very small, light fly made with a material that'll help parachute it down and just lightly blip in the water. So if you find yourself in a big school of nervous bonefish, long leaders, small flies.
As the final day of the Bakers Bay Marsh Harbor Bonefish Classic winds down, the team who led on day one so far has not been as successful on day two. Their guide, Captain Paul Pender, managed to find another large school of bonefish. The team decides to leave their boat and wade through the shallow water to get a closer look.
Does the wading spook them at all?
We try, once we start to get close to them, to try to do a little softer walking. Just slow it up and just like, you got some fish in front of you?
Yep.
There's 3 possible separate groups of fish coming in.
We got out on the boat, we're waiting, and we see a large school of bonefish way off, a couple hundred yards off. The guide pointed them out. We really had a lot of time to set up to kind of get in front of them, looking at them coming down the beach and so on.
Here, recast it again. They're coming toward you over there.
It was very easy from the standpoint you weren't rushed to get your cast in the right place. You knew they were coming, but once they start coming, it does get a little nerve-wracking because they come on you fast, and there's a lot of them. We had the whole school right below us. It was incredible. I didn't expect to see anywhere near that number of fish. It's very different than the marls. In the marls, you're typically casting at 1, 2, 3, 4 fish, and this is hundreds of bonefish circling around. It was an incredible sight, and definitely got your heart pumping, and you're kind of wondering where to throw it other than right in the middle of them, and that's what we did, and we got lucky a few times. Fish on. He's running with the school, believe it or not. Here they come, right by us.
The fish is still swimming with them.
Yep. Now he's separating. We didn't have as much success. I think a lot of it is the difficulty of the fishing out here versus in the marls. The marls is a little bit friendlier to amateurs like myself in the bone fishing trade. So today was a little bit tougher. Not as many shots. We didn't see fish all day. We saw some very good activity for a few hours, and then things kind of shut off. And also the type of fishing is very different. So the variety is what's really important. I mean, we got 2 very different experiences, and you know, we ended up catching a few fish today, but I'm sure it's not enough, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
As the team of Erik Hage and Eric O'Neill head back after an intensive day of fishing, they know that the tournament was not about winning, but about showing support and helping to find a cure for cystic fibrosis. As night falls and the celebration begins, the winners of the tournament are announced. Rod Jack and Butch Armstrong take the title as team champions. And now, let's take a look at our Blood and Guts Award, brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. This week, it goes to an unlikely character. When Team Haig O'Neill hooked up with a bonefish, it was a hungry barracuda that ended up stealing it away.
Barracuda ate him right there.
He ate him.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For full saltwater series coverage, log on to ESPNOutdoors.com right now.
There he is. Come to Papa. Oh, yeah.
Let's go, fella. Woo! That's a big fish. Oh, yeah, baby. Woo! Look at that.
10-5, 14
Every catch is big. Follow the Bassmaster Elite Series, Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
It's the difference between having to and wanting to. The Craftsman rear-propelled mower. Easy to start, easy to walk. And with the industry's largest bag, easy to unload. Moving lawn care forward. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
National Debt Report. If you have any type of debt, call now for a free debt report. There are laws in place which may allow us to lower your debt up to 70%.
I was in debt up to here. I made one easy phone call and they cut my monthly payments in half.
Take back control of your life. Become completely debt-free in months. Credit card bills, medical bills, repos, any type of unsecured debt. This opportunity will not last. Call now.
Call 1-800-230-3768.
Falcon Rods tournament tested.
The biggest bass in a lake are smarter, older, and stronger than your average fish. While every angler dreams of landing the trophy of a lifetime, it isn't easy.
There's a lot of lures that catch big bass, but I can tell you that day in, day out, all season long, a jig is one of the best things that you can use. It's got a big profile, it imitates what big fish like to eat, and that's a big bluegill or a crawfish. And you know, that I think is the magic of a jig, is that it's something that you can fish in shallow water, you can put it into heavy cover, and you can fish them in deep water. So those are the places that big bass live. A jig is going to be tied on. If I'm hunting for a big fish, you got to have it.
It's a big one. It ain't no drum, it's a bass. I know it is. Oh, it's a big bass. It's a big one. Oh, man. Stay hooked up, baby. Stay hooked up. Look at there. Whoa. Come here. Whoa. Whoa.
But that's the deal with a jig. You know, it can turn a zero into a hero real quick.
Godzilla ain't got nothing on me right now.
Swim baits are a very low percentage bite and a high percentage big fish bait. If you're gonna get bit on it, it's gonna be a good one. Are you gonna get a lot of bites on it? Absolutely not.
Throwing the bait out there and working it back, all you're feeling is the vibration of the tail coming through the water. And when a bite comes, it's almost like something just hits you with a 2x4 in the back of your neck.
Oh yeah!
Everything just shakes. And the first initial response is to set the hook. And then when you lay into them, then you're thinking, oh my gosh, I got the biggest bass in the lake, you know, because they're so far out there and they pull so hard because they're so big. And then it's the anticipation of actually seeing the fish that just consumed the bait. And watching that fish as you bring it out, and you're thinking, oh, I got him, it's a good one, you know, and here comes a 5, 7, 9, 12-pound bass up to the side of the boat. And you look and you go, wow, and you think, get your arm around it as quickly as you can. And
Tournament tested, brought to you by Falcon Rods. Visit falconrods.com. Legend Boats. At Legend Boats, we have one agenda: to build the finest bass boat on the water.
You're watching ESPN Outdoors in high definition on ESPN2 HD, presented by Viagra.
This is like the Iditarod of surf cast fishing.
The man, the myth, the legend, the toad.
I come out here sometimes I can almost lose my life. This is a dangerous sport, surf casting.
This is the Going Coastal East Coast road trip. Armageddon on the beach, big sharks eating mullet, hookups, miss-ups, blow-ups, peel-offs. I don't mean to bother you on your little beach day here in Hilton Head, but I got a shark I need to put on the beach. Oh, man.